Hello, good morning, students of class 12th in Commerce. Welcome to Pandasar's virtual class on macroeconomics. And today we are going to start a new chapter, banking. It will take around 3 to 4 sessions. And in the first session, we will discuss the definition of a bank along with its functions. So, before going to what is a bank or how we can define the term bank, I would like to tell you something about its functions. All the functions of a bank, which is nothing but a financial institution, we can divide them into two groups. One is primary function and other is secondary function. So, what is a bank? In the definition itself, hidden the primary functions of a bank. So, what is a bank? So, we can define a bank like a bank is a financial institution. Bank is a financial institution that primarily accept deposit and advances loan. I repeat the functions. Bank is a financial institution that accepts deposit and advances loans. So, any institution that is doing these twin functions may be termed as a bank, and that's exactly is the reason why we cannot say a post office to be a bank. Yesterday only we discussed about that thing, that why a post office is not a bank, even if we can deposit our money in a post office, because it, out of the two primary functions, it does only one function, that is accepting deposit. A post office never lends or never advances loans. That's why post office is not a bank. So, after knowing that a bank accepts deposits and advances loans, now we would like to discuss different types of deposits and different types of loans. I will try my best to complete it within one session, but if not possible, then tomorrow, whatever may be remaining of the functions of bank, we will complete that along with the another function of commercial bank, that is money creation by commercial bank. And from exam point of view, also it is very important to understand the money creation by commercial banks. So, the first one about deposits, that it is one of the primary functions of a bank, that accepting deposits. So, what are the different types of deposits that usually a bank accepts? That is, the first one is current account deposit. In deposit, the first one is current account deposit. So, we would like to discuss in detail about what exactly is or what we exactly mean by current account deposit. So, point by point you can see here, current account deposits are deposits which are payable at demand. Try to understand, payable at demand. We made a deposit means we put our money with the bank and it is deposited there, and whenever we require that money, we can withdraw that money by either scratching a debit or credit card or by signing a check. So, current account deposits are such deposits that at any moment, any time we need money, we can draw a check or we can scratch our card to get cash. That is payable at demand. The second one is no interest is given. So, because the bank is not quite sure that for how long we are going to keep the money with it, that's why usually banks never pay any interest on current account deposits. So, it only acts as the custodian of our money, that it keeps the money with it, and whenever we need it would give us back. That is, no interest is given. The third point is no restriction on withdrawal. That means there is no time limit, there is no restriction on how many times out of our deposited money we are making different withdrawals. And the fourth one is usually who are the people who usually use this type of deposits? They are businessmen. Why businessmen use current account? Even if in that account they are not getting any interest, because for their day-to-day transaction, for their day-to-day payments, usually businessmen use current account deposit, because at whatever moment they wish, they can withdraw money from the account. And the final point is statement of account is sent regularly. That the bank sends statement of account. You might have known, you might have seen that whenever you withdraw money by scratching your card, the next moment in your mobile a message is flashed. That is the statement of account, and the bank gives regularly the statement of account that how much money remained and how much you withdrew. Then the second type of deposit is saving bank deposit. It is a little bit different from current account deposit. In what way? Just to try to understand. The first point is withdrawal on demand with restriction. Like the current account deposit, at our will we can withdraw money by drawing check or scratching our card from our saving bank account as well. But the difference is that there is a restriction on number of times per month that you can use or you can use different means to withdraw money from your saving bank account. That withdrawal on demand with restriction. With restriction means number of time is the restriction, and that depends upon the policy of the concerned bank. Some bank may give you more than 5 times or 6 times or 8 times to withdraw from their saving account, and some bank restrict, like State Bank of India, it restricts 4 times maximum out of your saving bank account. You can withdraw 4 times in a month, and if you withdraw more times, then it is withdrawable, but with a penalty or with a fine. Then less interest is given. So in case of current account deposit, where there is no interest, in saving bank account, a little interest is given, but not as much as fixed deposits. So in a saving bank account, you will get at least some interest less than the cash, less than the fixed account deposit. So less interest is given. And the third point is account statement is sent regularly. That the bank send your current account status or statement regularly to the customers. And who are the people usually use this type of deposits? It is farms and households both. Farms and households both use saving bank deposits according to their requirement. So coming to the third point, that is fixed account deposit. As it is evident from its name, fixed. Fixed in what sense it is fixed? It is fixed in the sense that for a particular time, for a definite time period, you cannot withdraw money from the deposit. That is deposit for a fixed time. May it be 1 month, may it be 6 months, may it be 1 year, 3 years. So higher is the time or higher is the tenure of your deposit, the more you will get interest from your saving, from your fixed account deposit. So deposit in this account, money is deposited for a fixed period of time, and within that time you cannot tamper with your deposit. The second point is high rate of interest. Usually in fixed deposits, fixed account deposits, you get the maximum rate of interest more than saving bank deposit. And third point, restriction on withdrawal. That you cannot withdraw money before the expiry of the term for which you have deposited your money. But however, some banks give the facility to withdraw money at an interest. You have to pay interest to the bank if in case of necessity you are going to withdraw money from your fixed account deposit. Then the next point is no statement of account is given, because it is supposed that you are not going to touch your money for a definite period of time. That's why after maturity you will get your money with your interest, and before that there is no need to give any statement of account. That's why bank never sent any statement of account. Then the final point is who are the people who usually use this type of deposits? That is households and farms. Usually household and farms put their surplus money for the time being they are not going to use in fixed deposit in order to earn a higher rate of interest. That is household and farms use fixed account deposit. Then this is all about different types of deposits. Now shifting to the next function of next primary function of a commercial bank, that is advancing loans. And in this section we will first discuss about cash credit. So what is cash credit? Here point by point we are going to discuss what is cash credit. Bank sanction a credit limit on a given security. See, it is not our family relations. Bank don't have any family relationship with us. That's why every transaction becomes very authentic with reasonable paperwork. That's why if you want to get some loan from a bank, then you have to put something in mortgage or as a security. So suppose your security is worth 1 lakh rupees, then from after making valuation of the security what you have put with the bank would fix a credit limit, say it is 80,000 rupees. That on your given security you can withdraw or you can take a loan up to 80,000 rupees. But the cash credit is such credit that at a time you need not withdraw or you need not take the entire amount of loan. However, whatever may be your need, whatever amount you need right now, you are free to take that much of money. So interest is charged on amount used. So suppose out of 1 lakh rupees worth of security, the credit limit is 80,000 and you took actually say 30,000 rupees only in loan. Then at the end of a definite period, only interest will be charged on the money actually used, that is 30,000 only, and not the credit limit which is 80,000 rupees. No stated maturity. So because it's a continuous process, you go on taking loan and you go on repaying it. That's why there is no stated maturity. It continues forever. And who are the people who usually use or take this type of loans? That is producers and traders. Because time to time they need money. That's why they prefer cash credit, because they also exactly don't know when exactly they are going to need, the need would arise. That's why they prefer cash credit. Then demand credit. Yet another type of loan is demand credit, and the points you see, loan can be recalled at any time. It is a little bit different from cash credit. That the bank cannot force the man or the organization that has taken the loan under the heading of cash credit at its will. But demand credit is such loans that the giver, that is the bank, can recall at his will. That means whenever the bank needs that money, he can ask you to repay the loan. Loan can be recalled at any point of time. Then interest is charged and no stated maturity. Interest is charged, that means whatever loan you are using, you have to pay interest, and there is no maturity, means it's also a continuous process. The process of taking loan and repaying goes on indefinitely. That's why there is no stated maturity. And third, who are the people who usually use this type of credit? They are traders and brokers. Brokers, you know, who deals with shares, who purchase and sell shares. So they also don't know when the share prices will fall or share prices will rise. That's why instantly or within a fraction of seconds of notice, they might require a huge amount. That's why they prefer demand credit. So two more points are there regarding the functions of money. Regarding the functions of banking that we are going to discuss tomorrow, along with the credit creation by commercial bank. So these are all about the primary functions of money, and tomorrow also we will discuss about the secondary functions of money along with credit creation. So go through your books, notes. Today only I have sent your notes, the entire chapter of banking. So go through it, go through your books, and go through the video that I am going to send. And wherever you are in trouble, please don't feel shy to contact me or ask me to clarify your doubt. Thank you, and have a nice day.